Hello friends, welcome to my channel. My name is Rainy and this is kind of my second attempt at a Vlogmas video. Hmm. We're not really doing Vlogmas because after I said that I might try to do Vlogmas, I saw how many other people are doing Vlogmas and I got a little overwhelmed and thought, you know what, I'm just gonna do like a weekly kind of wrap up video. And then I'm going to throw in some plans type videos towards the end or just whenever I get the desire to do it, to be honest. So, but today, like I said, we're going to kind of do a weekly wrap up for the first week of December. And so we're going to go over what I have been reading, what I have been stitching, and what I plan to read and stitch next week. So let's start with the books that I've been reading. I decided that I was going to try to take it easy, kind of, for the month of December. November was kind of a hideous reading month for me. The things I read were good, but I hardly read anything. So I decided, you know what, December is going to be busy. Don't try to overload yourself. It's fine, if you don't read a lot. But what did I do? The first day of December, I started 2 buddy reads. So the first one I started is Lady Lyle by Mary Elizabeth Braddon. My friend Joe and I are going to try to read all of the Mary Elizabeth Braddon books in order of publication. So Lady Lyle is one that I'm trying to remember what the last book by her we read. I think the last book we read by her was Lady Audley's Secret, which was a reread for me, but I think that was the last one we read together. So I think this one comes after Lady Audley's Secret. And it's one that I had never heard of, and you can't get anywhere. I tried finding it on Everand. I think I even tried Kindle. Maybe I didn't try the Kindle store. I don't know. I don't remember all the places that I checked. But Joe found it on this website called happypress.org. I think is the name of it. I'll put it below. But it's actually like a scanned copy of an original text. So it's a little bit interesting to read, but it's been working, and it's a really pacey book. It's typical Mary Elizabeth Braddon sensation novel. It's great so far, and I would say we're probably halfway through at this point, and it's really picking up the pace. So we follow Lady Lyle, and we're pretty much thrown in to her life, right, a big plot point right at the beginning. Lady Lyle is a widow, a recently widowed lady with a young son, and right from the beginning, we encounter her old lover, boyfriend, whatever, that she was supposed to marry, or that she wanted to marry, and he wanted to marry her, but she was convinced from others that he was not good enough for her, and so she jilted him, um, and married this baronet. So that's how she became a lady, I guess. And so now the baronet is dead, and the old lover returns, and things ensue from there. The old lover has passed, shall we say, and it's coming back to haunt them in their new life together, um, in a very big, dramatic, crazy way. So, yeah, we are really enjoying it. And I was a little bit behind at first because I had a crazy week the first week of December, but now I'm caught up, and I'm really enjoying it. And I've said before that I gravitate towards audiobooks because I also do a lot of crafting. And it's just, easier to be doing my crafting and my knitting and all that stuff with my hands if I'm listening to an audiobook. But this one I have to read on my I use my iPad as like my Kindle. And but it's like so pacey, it takes me hardly any time at all, and I don't mind reading it that way and not stitching for a while in order to read it. So that's been really great. The other book that I have been actually listening to is Trace of Poison by Colleen Cambridge, I believe. And this is the second in the Phillida Bright mystery series. It's a cozy mystery, I guess you would call it. Um, Although it has more sinister, a few more sinister elements in it than like your typical cozy mystery, but I would still put it in the cozy mystery vein. This is actually a historical fiction mystery series. It follows Phillida Bright, who is the housekeeper, the head housekeeper for Agatha Christie and her second husband, Max Mallowan. And they have an estate, which I believe I heard was fictional, called Mallowan Hall. And all the staff and everything, it follows the staff of the Christie Mallowan union. and and Phillida Bright is a friend of Agatha Christie's who becomes her housekeeper after the war. And we still have not found out like how that came about, what Phillida's past is. And then there's another man that has come into their employment through Max Mallowan, who also is a friend of Max and also has a past that involves the war. So I'm assuming that throughout the series we will find out what the heck is going on with them. But that is an interesting little side mystery that nobody's really delved into too much yet, but there's always hints of it. But anyway, in Trace of Poison, we follow they're calling it a murder fate, where there's a murder mystery writers group that has started to have a big writers contest, and people like G.K. Chesterton and Dorothy L. Sayers and Agatha Christie are involved in this. So they're all in this book, and they are running this contest, and the prize is a publishing contract. So it's big stakes for this murder mystery writers club, and there's always one guy who thinks he's the best, and other people don't like him and would like to see something happen to him in order for him not to win the contest, because I mean he is apparently the best, and he knows it, that kind of thing. So and yeah, without giving anything away, obviously someone gets murdered, and Phillida is right there in the action, and even Agatha Christie asks her to investigate the murder. And it's kind of funny because, like, they always, in these cozy mysteries, they always make it like the police staff, the police department is inept at their job. But then when you think about it, when they talk about the timeline, it's like 24 to 48 hours before the amateur sleuth solves the crime, and then they're like, oh, the police are so inept at their job. And I'm like, in reality, it usually doesn't take less than 72 hours to come up with a murder suspect and all that all that stuff. I mean, maybe sometimes it does. I don't know. I'm not a policeman, but it's just kind of funny. Um, but yeah, I'm really enjoying this one. We're almost done. We still don't know who the killer really is, and I am baffled by this point. I think she did a really good job on this one with, you know, uh, having a bunch of little subplots and red herrings and all that stuff. So, um, yeah, it's been really good. So, let's talk now about what I plan to read next week after I've finished with Trace of Poison. And I'm going to fix my camera because I'm using that tripod that likes to just slowly descend. And it's doing that to me again. Okay, so let's talk about plans for next week. What I'm going to put in place of Trace of Poison when I'm done with that, because I will most likely be done with that before Lady Lyle, is going to be Christmas at Thompson Hall and Other Stories by Anthony Trollope. And this is a Victorian set of works, and they must all be by Anthony Trollope because it doesn't say and other authors. But this is what we will be reading in December for Kate Howe's Patreon group that I am involved in. And I'm really excited about this because I have been eyeing this book for a couple of years now and keep saying that I'm going to get it, and I never have. And then when this was picked as the group read for December, I was like, well, I just have to now. So I don't know why I never did. It wasn't like a super pricey book or anything. I just never pulled the trigger on it. So I have no idea what this is about or what the other stories are about. And honestly, I might, I don't know. The print is good size, so I might be able to just read this physically. But if I get a little overwhelmed with reading physically and trying to craft and all that stuff, next week I might try to find an audiobook version of this and just have this to sit real pretty on my shelves. On my shelves? That's not the right word. Shelves. So that's really the only thing that I planned to read for that's different for next week. Like I said, I'm just trying to go easy on my reading. I'm also doing like an Advent Bible reading plan that I'm behind on, of course, and some other Advent studies that I got myself involved in. so, um, so yeah, I have a lot going on reading wise. But now let me kind of reorganize myself again, and I am going to show you what I have stitched on this week. Okay, now I apologize in advance if you are the type of floss tube watcher that needs everything to be ironed, because I did not do that. Because this is not like my normal floss tube thing, and I just am pulling these out of the bag that I took around with me this week. So I have been doing a 1,000 stitch rotation on all my different projects the last few months, and the last one that I pulled it or that I spun on my decisions wheel in November was Welcome to Rivendell by Country Magic Stitch. I will pop a picture of it here. And I didn't finish my 1,000 stitches by the end of November. So if I have a picture of what it looked like the last time I would have posted anything about it before maybe my 1,000 stitch rotation, this is where it was during that. And I have since finished my 1,000 stitch rotation. So this is where it is now. So still not a whole lot to see, but we have a lot more of the sky, and we're starting to get some of the trees in there, and a little bit of one of the buildings, but not a lot. I realized I didn't have one of the floss colors for there. I forgot to get that one up, so I have to get that out of my master set. But I just stopped there because I didn't have anything to fill it in. But yeah, this is where it is so far. And so now this will go away for the rest of this year. And then it will go back on my wheel for 2025. And we'll see how fast I can get 1,000 stitches every time. And see how fast it comes back around. Also, this week in floss stitching world was the Jingle Ball, which is put on by Stephanie Webb from Lindy Stitches and a bunch of other cross stitch designers, most of which have floss tubes. And it's always a good time. I usually just buy like the general admission ticket and do a few stitching tables and like get some of my online friends and go into a stitching table together. So I that's pretty much all I did this past weekend. On Friday, I got in like an hour with a friend, and then Saturday I also got another friend and we went into a stitching table in the evening. Now today, Sunday, I probably won't do that, but I may get back on and just watch the entertainment loop while I'm doing some other things. Because they do all the designers will do some form of entertainment, and it just like is on a continuous loop in the grand ballroom of the Jingle Ball. So it is really fun, and they do have like additional classes that you can take during the Jingle Ball for like an additional cost. And then there's shopping, of course, which I haven't done yet. I might browse and see, but I need to curb my spending a little bit. But anyway, whenever I'm doing a stitching table at these things, I like to have just like a fill-in kind of a thing. So like none of my full coverages that are crazy confetti or anything because I will mess them up. So I actually bought a Lindy Stitches pattern a couple of years ago. Or no, this was a freebie. I didn't buy it. She put this as a freebie on her website, and I grabbed it, and I have been working on that horse. Now, I messed the horse up, but I've decided I'm not going to fix him. He's just going to look a little different from that horse, but that's okay. So anyway, I have outlined the brown parts of the horse and just working on filling them in. So here is where he is now. He looks like he has little stubby legs. I started putting in, you can see the bottom here. I started putting in his Clydesdale legs. But can you see what's different about him? Now that I look at the main picture, I apparently somehow messed up back in his butt area, and his butt should go up higher than it does, but it's just kind of straight across. So, but I don't want to, like, see that little kitty that I put in there? I don't want to unstitch that kitty. So we're just going to leave him. He doesn't look that bad. He looks fine. He just looks more straight-backed than maybe a Clydesdale should look. Oh well. But yeah, I think I got a couple hundred stitches in this weekend on him. But of course, because I messed it up, my stitch count's a little bit off. But oh well. And I even messed that up before I got into a stitching table because I wanted to get it outlined before I started the Jingle Ball. So, geez, I probably should have just tried to do it while I was in a stitching table. Maybe I would have done better. I don't know. But anyway, that's where I am on that project. And then my main focus project, I think throughout the month of December, or at least until I get incredibly bored, is Mini Nativity by Heaven and Earth Designs. And this one was supposed to have come out a couple of days every month on like the 24th and 25th. That didn't always happen. Sometimes, if I remembered, it did, but not very much. But anyway, here is where I am currently. I won't even show you a before picture of it. Because I'll do a wrap up, December wrap up of all my projects, and you'll see it then. But this is where I am with it now. So far this month I have done about 550 stitches on him. So I already have a page finished, so now I'm kind of bleeding into a couple of other pages to see which one I feel like doing, feel like working on. But it looks really good. I like it a lot. So yeah, those are the things that I have been stitching on this week. So I have to, I already spun for my next 1,000 stitch project, and it is going to be Quick Stitch Grand Library Fire, which is anything but a quick stitch. It is like many hundreds of thousands of stitches. So it is not going to be a quick stitch. But here's where what it will look like when I'm done. And if I can find a picture of where I was the last time, here is where I'm starting from. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. But anyway, friends, I hope you are having a great start to December. I have had a busy one. I should tell you about how uh, my December has started, huh? I went to, well, first of all, at the very end of November, I went to Phipps Conservatory in Pittsburgh for the start of their Winter Lights show. And that was really fun, except for we had a massive, massive storm that day. And it was just it just poured while we were there. And so we couldn't go out to see the outside lights, which they're like the same every year anyway, but still, it's kind of like the thing. So you want to go to see that part too. But the inside was just as nice, so we got to see that. But the other weird thing is like there was like leaking everywhere. I guess they got new windows, and I don't know if they haven't had them sealed yet or not, but there was just leaks everywhere. It was insane. But but it was fine. I mean, whatever. It's a greenhouse. It's a giant greenhouse. What do you expect? But it was really pretty, and I hopefully I put some pictures up. Maybe I will put them up as I'm talking, so you're not just staring at my face. And then on December 1st, I went to Pittsburgh again with a couple of friends to see the MJ musical, which is the Michael Jackson musical. Um, and it was fantastic. Fantastic. I mean, I was a Michael Jackson fangirl well, I was born in the 80s, so more like in the 90s. I was a total fan. Like, I had all the probably at that point it was cassettes or yeah, probably was cassettes. I had all of his albums. um I watched all his like music videos. Thriller terrified me because of what's his name, Price, Vincent Price, terrified me. But my goodness, this musical was supposed to be in like 1993 when he was putting out his Dangerous tour, which at that point was like, oops, sorry, I'm being distracted by things I left on my lap. Um, uh, it was supposed to be the biggest tour that anybody had ever done at that point, and like his financial people and everybody were all like freaking out because of all the things he wanted. Um, so then MTV comes in and wants to do a documentary on the making of the Dangerous tour. So it was just kind of like that story, and because of the documentary that MTV was doing, they did a lot of flashbacks of his childhood, and we got to see songs and performances by people, portraying the Jackson Five, and then Michael in his early career, and then up to like the present day of 1993 of Michael during the Dangerous tour. And everybody that played Michael in this was phenomenal. They like the guy who played the 1993 version of Michael was just spot on with, even to his like whispery talking voice, the more meek and mild, um, that kind of voice. He had that he sustained throughout the whole show. and his singing voice was just spot on. His dancing was incredible. I was I was like, this is as close as I'm ever gonna get to seeing Michael Jackson in concert, obviously. And I was just like, it was great. So, and it was even not super cold that day, from what I remember. Um, so it was kind of nice because we had to walk around to try to find a place to eat before we went, and yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed myself a lot. So that was probably the biggest thing I've been doing in December. The other things of just like normal stuff that is just like busyness, the busyness of December. And I'm not even sure why everything is so busy in December, especially for a single woman with no kids. Like, I don't have that many people to buy for, but yeah, just friends and stuff. So just trying to see friends and all that stuff, and exchange gifts and all that. So, but yeah, it's been a fun beginning to the month, but I'm also already exhausted. So tell me, friends, how are your Decembers going? What have you been reading? If you are a stitcher, what have you been stitching? What have you been doing that's fun and festive? Yeah, just tell me all the things. All right, I'll talk to you in my next video, friends. Bye.